Today we're going to be doing intermediate. I'm going to show you traditional grip and I'm going to show you. This is Clayton Skinner. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Beat. Hello, my name is Clayton Skinner. In this episode of Beyond the Beat, I'm going to teach you how to do a triplet bounce. I call these triplet bounces for a lack of a better name. I'm actually not sure what these are actually called. This could get a little confusing because there's many different ways that you can bounce triplets. But this way specifically I'm going to show you, essentially you're going to only be bouncing with one hand. One of the hands will be covering either the and or the one and, I don't know. So yeah, here we go. Let's get started. So the idea behind this is you want to make sure that one of your hands, typically it should probably be your dominant hand, but it doesn't matter, you could do both, is always leading the charge. So if you look at the first two exercises on the PDF, the first hit on each one of those bars is your right hand. In the first bar, your right hand is all by itself, and the left hand is taking up the and So your right hand would be going like one and on the one, and then the left hand would be on the and two and three and In the second bar, which I'm going to look at as an actual separate exercise, your right hand is still leading, but your right hand is now taking up the one and your left hand will be the one and two and three and This is a little bit trickier because, like I said before, we're bouncing. This is going to be a much different bounce than you're used to, probably. It's very reminiscent of a drag in a lot of ways. The only difference is that you're spacing the bounce out to cover the triplet rhythm. Where a drag would be kind of like bada boom, da da ba, da da ba. This would be carried out more rhythmically to a triplet. One and two and And you want to try to do this bouncing. It's a very, very open bounce, so you want to make sure that you have a very loose grip. This will take you a little while to learn. It took me a while to learn. And then once you get that, you have to learn how to shift back and forth. So it's non-stop exercises. So let's look at the first exercise with much, much detail. Okay, so triplets. You count a triplet. One and two and so on and so forth. That doesn't matter, actually. You can count it however way you want it. Whatever way you count triplets is fine. I count it one and So in the first exercise, whatever hand your dominant hand, in my case it's going to be the right. Right is my dominant hand. I'm going to hit the dominant hand, and then the left hand will be playing the and one and two and three and four and Try doing this without bouncing at first, just to get the feel of it. Get a feel of playing these triplets, or properly playing the triplets, with your left hand doing the double hit essentially, and. As you get more comfortable with it, start slowly ramping up the speed, and you want to make sure that you have a very, very loose grip. It's going to be like almost second nature that you're going to want to hold a tight grip because you're used to doing double strokes or drags, and you have to fight that. That's why it'll take you a little while to get. You have to make sure you have that triplet feel. So here is the first exercise. Here's a demonstration of the first exercise where it's just a single right followed by two left hands. Now the second exercise, the one directly under the first, we're going to shift gears here a little bit now. Rather than having a singular right followed by a double left, you're going to have a double right followed by a singular left. So the idea is you want to make sure that you pay attention to this. The idea is that you're always leading with your right, or you're leading with your left, whatever hand that you did in the last exercise to lead with, make sure that you lead with the same hand, sorry. If you want, you can do both hands as separate, but for this particular case, let's just work on our dominant hand. So the dominant hand will then play one and then the second hand, the alternate hand, will play the ah. So it'll be like one and ah, two and ah. Again, practice without bouncing, and then try to ramp up the speed and slowly build the bounce. One of these will be easier, so you could kind of use them as a gauge to hear it. They both kind of sound the same as you go along because, again, your one hand is going to be hitting on its own, so you may actually, yeah, anyway. So listen to the way I demonstrate this and listen to how I play it in relation to the metronome, because you don't want the beat shifting on you. So listen to my demonstration. Here we go. So now we're going to learn how to transition between the two. I've taken exercise 1, I've taken exercise 2, and I've crammed them into one bar. So exercise 3 on the PDF is written out in 16th note triplets or sextuplets, whatever way you want to look at it. So the first half of the bar is exercise 1, the second half of the bar is exercise 2. So I'm going to say this again and again and again. Make sure whatever hand you're leading with is the one that leads the charge. If you look at it that way, it makes it a lot easier to comprehend what's happening. First half of the exercise is right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. The second half transitions into right, right, left, right, right, left. So again, remember that your right hand is leading the charge, or that if that's the hand that you're leading with, that's the hand that leads the charge. Right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. There you go. If you pay attention to the way I have it written and you pay attention to the pulse, you would set the metronome, say, on the 8th note. So every time your right hand hits, you can count that as an 8th note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so now we're going to focus on the second transition, the transition back to the beginning. The last one simply just covered the middle, and I suggest you just focus on that for a little while, and then we'll focus on the other one, the second one. So this transition basically takes you from, again, you want to make sure that your right hand or your dominant hand is leading the charge. This will take you from bouncing with that hand to being single with that hand again, and then bouncing the opposite hand. So it'll kind of be going like this. So you'll be going like 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. A good way to really nail this transition is to actually accent those two single notes. Again, my sound effects are awesome. I don't know, they might actually help you. So check out this demonstration. Maybe just focus specifically on this transition. Pay attention to the sticking, and it might even help to actually practice it without bouncing, to just do the simple taps, just kind of like how I just kind of did. So, fourth exercise on the PDF, it's the same thing. It's just now you're doing it if you're doing it twice in exercise 3, you're doing it 4 times in exercise 4. So it's just a little bit tighter. You have less time to think about it, less time to prepare, so you're kind of transitioning at quicker intervals. Yeah, I don't know. Watch the sticking. I'll give you a little demonstration of it, and yeah, you shouldn't have a problem. So that last exercise was a little bit trickier because it was tighter. Again, you had less room to think. You kind of had to transition. As soon as you transitioned to one, you got to pretty much transition back. The coolest thing about this is that you don't necessarily have to keep everything even. I kept everything even. Like exercise 3, you did basically the pattern 4 times and then transitioned into the other direction. I did that another 4 times. In exercise 4, you do it twice in the other direction, twice in first direction, back and forth. You don't have to do it even at all. You can do it completely random at any point, and you should practice until you're comfortable with doing that. So practice transitioning at random intervals. Practice it at your 3s, 5s, completely random. And yeah, give it a shot. See how it feels. Again, you know, practice never hurt anybody. Well, that's all for this episode. If you have any questions or comments, get a hold of me through the contact section at claytonskinner.com. Or you can just leave a comment here on YouTube, or you can just email me here on YouTube. There's lots of different ways you can get a hold of me. Hope to hear from you. See you next time.